Good day, all. How are you? My name is Frances, and I'm from the Seychelles. So a lot of people, when I say Seychelles, they're like, "Where is that?" Like, start of my life. Everywhere I go, where is that? Anyways, it's all about awareness. So my island, it's a group of islands in the Indian Ocean, east coast of Africa, but our culture is very similar to the Caribbean. It's just a mix. It's really diverse. We love our curries, island life, reggae, all of this. Island life, right? But today I'm here to talk about climate change, which is something that us islanders um, we resonate with. So we have a lot of common issues, and the impact of climate change is very real for us small islands, right? We are called small islands, but us as conservationists, we call us big ocean states, which is true, right? Because even in Seychelles, like our EEZ, which is exclusive economic zone, which is basically the ocean we govern, is bigger than UK itself. So we're huge, but when we're looking at island mass, we're just a dot on the map. So climate change was very real for me, and I was introduced with it for the first time in my life. Really, I've heard about it so many times, but it was when I was 16. I started scuba diving, and I was doing my license. So before I go into that, I studied ocean science and marine conservation at Plymouth University in the UK. So I did my bachelor's for 3 years. It was an experience in itself, but that's a topic for another day. I was the only black girl in my class from the islands, but it teaches you a lot. But it was a great course. Like I learned a lot. So yes, as I was diving, like we had some beautiful spots at home. Like Seychelles has some of the best diving spots because we have granitic rocks, which is like big mountains basically, and there's corals growing on it. Like a lot of tourists come to Seychelles just to see our corals, like see our dive sites. And then we have wrecks, which are like boats that sink. I think some of them are purposefully sank to be a dive site. And then we have lots of coral reefs as well. So while I was diving, like I've done some dives and I'm seeing how beautiful it is. And then like maybe a year later, I heard on TV that the sea temperature is going higher and it's getting warmer. It's true. Sometimes I'll go on the beach with my friends and we're swimming and the water is like crazy hot. It's like a jacuzzi or something, right? So I'm like, So as I went diving that day and like you're going down, I just see white everywhere. Like the corals have turned white. And if you've dived before, corals are supposed to be like brownish color, or sometimes they're really colorful, like they can be pink. There's different types of corals, alright? So as I'm seeing this, like it was really depressing because I knew from then, like I've heard about this climate, like coral bleaching, but when you actually see it firsthand, like bro, I was so depressed. I was like, nah, I have to share this story, and like this thing is real, and sometimes when you're not in these kind of places, you don't see the impact. So it's out of sight, out of mind, and you don't realize what you're doing, let's say in Europe or bigger countries. And us as small islands, we're seeing these things. Like this is in my lifetime, and it's real. Like these things are real. Um, and about coral bleaching, so it's the little algae that lives in the coral that has gone out because it's uncomfortable and it doesn't like this temperature. Just saying it in like, easy terms. So if the temperature of the water continues to be warm, the algae doesn't come back. So the coral can't feed itself because it uses photosynthesis to make food. Like, that's one of how it does it, like how it feeds itself. So if that happens and the coral continues to be white, then the coral dies, and we know the impact of a coral dying, like a coral reef, which is causing more erosion, which in some Caribbean islands you might see this, like the sea is coming higher. Sea level rise is another impact of climate change. Um, Erosion. So you see lots of your beaches are going away. They're disappearing. And even for my dissertation, I actually did like the case study for home. And it was crazy. Like, I think within 50 years, we had lost 3 meters or 5 meters, I can't really remember, of beach. So as you read, sometimes I'm like, I just hope this is wrong and it's really not happening. But I had like raw material, like raw data from um, the meteorological office. Like, as you're analyzing it, it's just like, bro, this thing is serious. But it's a topic that not a lot of us talk about because maybe you were not aware. So that is another reason I'm here, to raise awareness. And ocean literacy is a big deal for me because it is through that we learn about what's going on at home, and like in the longevity of it. Like, maybe we see something that happened in a year and we're like, oh, this is just a drought. But what if it wasn't like this 30 years ago? We're seeing big heavy rain and we're like, oh, this is normal. It's not normal. Like, at home, it's basically England now. We don't see the sun. It's crazy. Like, this whole year, we usually have a designated time of the year where it's really sunny and we're like, on the beach tanning, get around tan lines, you feel me? But it's not the case. Like, it's been raining consistently. In December, we had a major flood. Like, whoa. So I wasn't home. I was doing like a work assignment in Kenya, and like, my mom called me. So when I left, it was already raining, right? Like, heavy, heavy rain. And the way my house is, um, it's like a bit lower, right? And we have a road, so all the water from the neighborhood kind of gathers at home. And my mom calls me and she's like, Jess, like, it's getting really crazy here. Like, water is coming in, and imagine you're not even home. So, like, luckily we have an upstairs area, and like, she went there and I couldn't get hold of her. Like, nobody could get to the house because it was literally flooded, and like the electricity had gone. Like, the roads were closed because it was that crazy. Like, we've never seen flooding like this. And Seychelles were a country that we were always blessed. We never had this kind of flooding. We've never had hurricanes. Like, we don't have these kind of things. No, not even volcano, nothing. So when these things happen is when, like, the government will be like, we need to have certain um like plans on what to do. But it's only when big things happen that you're like, oh shit, now I have to run and do it. Like, we've had a tsunami back in 2004, but I wonder I don't even know what to do if there's a tsunami, or just run to the mountains. Like, we need better planning when it comes to these things. So all in all, my mom was okay. Like, she was really scared, obviously, because she was home alone. Like, all my dogs were running crazily and jumping on the bed because they didn't know where to go, you know. So next day, like, all my neighbors came, my friends went there to help her out. Like, guys, it was mad. Like, the house was just full of mud. We lost our sofa. We lost a lot of things, but we're always grateful. Like, my mom and I were big on gratitude, and we're just grateful that she was okay, and the house is still standing. Like, guys, it was so bad that she couldn't even go out. Right? Like, this was real. It was basically a river. Like, she says it was a river inside the house. But yeah, it's draining system. So all of this is impact of climate change. And again, our fellows, other African countries, we experience climate change in a very different way, but it is real. Like, droughts, heavy rain, stronger hurricanes. We've seen in the Caribbean how crazy it is. So all in all, obviously this is a conversation, so it's really important to have these certain conversations, especially with elderlies, to see what are the differences, like what's really going on. Talk to the fishermen. I know in Jamaica, like a lot of your beaches are blocked, which is really sad because I don't know what I would do. Like the beach is literally my meditation place. So I wouldn't know what to do if I couldn't get access to the beach. Obviously, you have beautiful rivers as well, so the nature is really nice. So I've seen on like pictures and videos, but I can understand why there could be a disconnection with the ocean if it's not something that you're seeing or engaging or connecting with. So maybe just read more about it. Your daily routine is a big deal as well, like using less plastic, recycling. Make these words a daily thing. Like, try it starts with one person, and then you go on, you tell your friends about it, like, oh, I went shopping today and I brought a cloth bag instead of a plastic bag. It makes a big difference because, again, with the ocean, we've seen at home, there's this place called Aldabra, which is a UNESCO heritage site, and in 3 weeks, there was a big team that went there to do like cleanup, and we picked up 75 tons or 25 tons of rubbish. So it's a lot. And it's not our rubbish. We know it's not ours. Like sometimes you look on the labels and they belong to different countries. So it starts at home, really and truly. And I hope this video was inspiring. If you've ever thought about being a marine biologist, an ocean educator, do it. This is your space. We are surrounded by the ocean. So don't let other people come in to do these kind of jobs. Obviously, we need other countries and collaboration, but you know your island best, and just try different practices to be better and have these kind of conversations with your friends and family. So I hope this helped. Maybe it's something entirely new, but let me know what you think and what are some of the impacts that you've been seeing on your island or other countries that if you're listening that you want to engage with me, please do. Alright, so thank you again. Thanks for listening. Peace and love. See ya.